Welcome to the Iconoclastic Wrestling Podcast. And here's your hosts, Iconoclast and Dictato.
Welcome to the Iconoclastic Wrestling Podcast. I'm Iconoclast.
And I am your host, Dick Taco.
And let's talk about some wrestling.
A lot of wrestling to do, man. I mean, we stayed away an extra day because of Revolution.
Was last night.
Which was, I have to say, from what I saw, was very good.
Fucking Christ. What the fuck?
I'm sorry. That was, I hope that didn't get picked up by the microphone, but I passed wind, folks. Sorry.
No, well, Revolution, from what I've seen, usually ends up being one of their best shows of the year. I don't know why, but
it was good, and I was happy to see them with a decent house because there's been too many of these, like for these TV tapings, you got too many of these 1,200 and 2,000 people crowds, which, like you said, and I agree, is not indicative of the in-ring talent. It's not.
ECW, that's what ECW had.
Yeah, but they were only set up for that. They're booking these arenas and cutting off a certain part. Like when we went in Philly last time, they cut out a certain part for the hard camera. I get that. But there was the first time we went to the Liacouras Center, which I don't like as a venue for wrestling anyway. I don't like it because it's a basketball. It's a basketball arena.
That's usually what they do at basketball and hockey.
Well, yeah,
arenas.
but I think they don't. AEW doesn't look into enough of some of these like they've never run the ECW arena. I think that would be great, but maybe I don't know. Maybe they can't. Maybe there's something with MLW running it and they're not allowed to. I don't know. But I would love to see. Tell me you wouldn't go to ECW arena to see AEW or the 2300 arena, whatever they call it now.
You wouldn't be able to get tickets, but
you'd be able to get tickets somehow, dude. I fucking say we drive up, we'll stand outside the garage door and watch it there. I mean, like on.
Okay,
so go ahead with the news here.
Well, we'll start with this, and then we will go.
You might as well save Revolution, I guess,
because a lot of the stuff you wrote down in the lead up to Revolution.
Yeah, so you can go over some of it because we didn't. So start wherever you want.
Bucks changed finisher to TK Driver. I figured that out during the match with Sting's retirement match last night.
They changed it. They announced it last week. I wrote that down. I wrote that down when we were recording last week.
The EVPs.
Yeah, please. Some of these gimmicks they're doing now, and I'm sorry, there's booking problems in AEW. We'll talk about that. Not necessarily with the Bucks.
With who?
But with the world title match. But when we get to the
what, you think Swerve should have won?
Fucking A, he should have won. He's earned it. Joe's an older guy. The three-way, I was telling the wife last night because she was watching me because I stayed up till fucking middle of the night to watch this shit because they're never over quick. But I was like, the three-way was designed to get the belt on someone else without making the current champion look weak. That's where the third guy comes in. If it's not an elimination, anybody can get pinned.
Well, I knew Hangman was going to be the guy to get pinned.
Well, yeah, but we didn't think it was going to be. It's like people are talking about they're taking polls. Do you think Cody's going to win at WrestleMania? I say yeah, because, well, I don't want to give away what I'm talking about. Well,
but there was also a lot of tomfoolery and shenanigans.
Tomfoolery and chicanery.
And yes, there was a lot of chicanery
and shenanigans
in this match because
horseplay.
Hangman turned heel and he would start attacking the ref, and there was no one to make counts. And
that's a heel turn they're working on for him because you could tell by what the announcers were saying. They were setting it up too.
Well, the thing is,
heel or babyface, his face is like the king of the vacant expression, but he is very good in the ring. So
okay, Jericho to bring back Reinhardt. I saw this match actually.
Yeah, me too. It was on Wednesday night, right?
Yeah, against Atlantis Jr. because he apparently faced Atlantis Sr. in CMLL.
Back in the day, yeah.
Because this is a theory I have. Because now that AEW has this deal that's with CMLL that they're promoting, I think...
Yeah, because a lot of these masked Mexicans are coming through a lot lately.
Masked Mexicans?
Yeah, masked Mexican wrestlers. Not like they're masked Mexicans, they're robbing people. See?
But I'm telling... This is what I'm thinking is going to happen eventually. That, again, AEW has a working relationship with several promotions.
Yeah.
With
NJPW.
CMLL.
And they did with AAA. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, I mean, from what I was reading, they still have it with AAA, but AAA and CMLL talents cannot be in the ring together.
Well, that's the whole EMLL split all those years ago when it was EMLL and they split off to become AAA.
Yeah, like
AAA's only about 30 years old.
I know.
They're not that old.
I know the whole story when Conan and Rey Mysterio were with some of the original guys to go over there. And
I have that pay-per-view when Worlds Collide. Eddie Guerrero and Art Barr, where they lost the it was like from 93. It was WCW helped get it on the air. So because it wound up on like I think it might have been the early days of that El Rey network that handled Lucha Underground years ago.
Well, because WCW had a working relationship with AAA.
Yes, they did.
Well, so I feel like I keep seeing stuff that AAA is not doing as well as it used to.
Well, the business is, let's be honest, the business right now, the only thing everybody's talking about constantly, other than, the whole Vince sex scandal thing, there hasn't been anything for that in a couple of weeks anyway. The only thing everybody's talking about is The Rock and Roman and all that stuff. The business itself, to me, I think is at a cold point right now, other than that.
Really?
I think so. I mean, that doesn't mean you're not going to have good matches. Like, there's a lot of good talent coming into AEW. Like, Okada's coming in. Ospreay just came in. Younger guys like Take a Shit and all them are coming up. So it just rolls off the tongue.
I don't think so.
He's one big freaking Japanese guy, though, man. He's 6'3" or something.
Moxley, I remember Moxley called him tall, dark, and sexy.
Yeah, well.
No, but here's what I think is going to happen. So now, New Japan just announced they're doing this thing with a bunch of smaller promotions in Asia, like the Asia Wrestling Alliance.
The AWA? Hopefully they don't get sued for that.
No, but it's not called that. It's like the Pacific.
I follow you, yeah.
It's like they're doing a show in Taiwan coming up.
Well, the governing body for New Japan used to be the Pacific Wrestling Federation in the early 70s. That's when that was their original title when, wait a minute, not New Japan, it's All Japan, I'm sorry. All Japan was PWF.
Yeah,
Baba.
But there's like promotions in Korea, Taiwan, China.
Could we get Collision in Korea too? Called At Gunpoint, because that's how you'll be made to go.
I mean, they could do it in Seoul or someplace in South Korea.
They had the Olympics there when I was a kid in Seoul.
But anyway, I think what's going to happen is you're going to go back to an almost like NWA style system.
We've been saying that for a couple of weeks now.
With AEW, CMLL, New Japan. Apparently, AEW also has deals with Cyberfight.
The fuck is that?
They are the parent company of either Noah or All Japan.
Oh. Cyberfight. I'll have to look into that. I never heard of that.
They also...
Those are two federations that have really gone downhill. When you look how NJPW has gone up, AJPW is at the bottom of those two.
Well, AJPW went downhill after the Exodus.
No, but they had some guys stuck around. Well, they're right. They haven't been the same since then. Noah has gone downhill in the past 10 years, probably since, last 15 since Mizawa died. Yeah.
Since Mizawa died, they've gone downhill a lot.
That was really, I remember trying to follow that when, I was about 20, I was about your age, and I was trying to follow that whole Exodus thing in the magazine, because it's all you could, the internet was in its early days, you couldn't really find much about it, but I would follow that stuff. So.
That was the idea, but I think that, who knows, I don't think you're going to get like a one world championship type thing.
You shouldn't. I don't think people should do that.
Because it's too much traveling.
Yeah, but there's also, there is such a thing as having too many belts, as, Tony Khan's doing over there. It's awful.
What do you mean there's too many belts?
In AEW? All the Ring of Honor shit?
Take the Ring of Honor shit out.
Then I'll be okay with that. I would be fine with that then if you take if the Ring of Honor stuff out. It's meaningless. It means nothing anymore.
The belts don't even have good designs.
No, like when he changed all the Ring of Honor shit, that's awful. Even the new logo, like the new typeface, I thought it's awful. So, but anyway, getting off of that on
HBK and Triple H have meetings with CW. I thought they already confirmed that they were.
They did, but I guess nothing's final yet because they went and talked to him again. So
he's now NWA Power.
They're on the app. Lucky them.
Speaking of NWA, I can't believe this. My co-host tried watching NWA Samhain without me.
Yeah, I did you a fucking favor.
You wanna
Anybody ever
talk
been to the
about it?
Masonic Hall in Cleveland? It holds about 100 people, and it wasn't full.
Okay, so give your opinions for our viewers.
I didn't get through the first match. I'll have to report back later. Because it's like, I mean, and those girls that the Sinister Minister was supposedly doing blow with, I mean, they were heifers, even by my standards.
Heifers?
Cows. Couple of matches for WrestleMania 40 coming up, most likely, is AJ Styles versus LA Knight. I'm not sure if that program got going yet, but Randy Orton versus Logan Paul started at the Elimination Chamber when Logan came in and knocked him out with the brass knuckles. So that makes perfect sense.
Nick Nemeth will put...
Now, wait, you're going to have to phrase this a little different because I did it and then he was going to, Nick Nemeth was going to he wants to put the global title on the line against Tanahashi, but now they can't do it because he's injured. I wrote that down and then I had to add to it later because it was a week apart.
Now, let's move to a sad portion of our show. We have a memorial service to conduct.
We got a couple memorial services, but
Two.
my co-host
Two, I thought, right?
Yeah,
Two.
there's two, yeah. That's a couple.
So,
a few is three.
We'll start with the smaller one for us on this show. Ole Anderson. I did not know much about Ole Anderson.
Oh, founding member of the Four Horsemen. I actually met him once when I was 11 years old. Super fresh in Wildwood, New Jersey. He was in there chewing on a cigar. Getting something. Because they were...
Did you say anything to him?
I went up to him. I was like, are you Ole Anderson? Yeah, like real cranky guy. Shook my hand and I was walking down the street to get I don't know what I was doing in there. But WCW was at Wildwood Convention Hall, summer of '90. Pop took me. That's the only time they were ever down the shore.
Now,
because I saw El Gigante.
He was not actually related to Arn Anderson.
Yeah, his real name wasn't even Anderson. It was Al Rogowski. Yeah, the only Anderson in the Anderson family was Gene. That was a real Anderson. He was because it was Gene and then Lars, and Lars left the territory.
What was Arn Anderson's real name?
Marty Lund. And Lars Anderson was Larry Heinini.
Heinini?
Yeah.
Kind of naming, I don't even know what kind of ethnicity.
That's why I think it's like Scandinavian or something. I think it's close to it. But yeah, Ole was a booker when I was growing up for WCW, and he used to run the Georgia territory back in the day.
He was a Shockmaster.
He was the voice of the Shockmaster. He was the voice of the Black Scorpion. You name any shitty masked character in WCW in the early 90s.
You thought the Black Scorpion was shitty?
What do you mean I thought it was shitty? Of course it was. There's three shitty things in WCW between 1990 and 93. RoboCop and Capital Combat, the Black Scorpion, and the Shockmaster.
What about Dungeon of Doom?
That was later. That was like 95, 96. That was don't even get me started on Dungeon of Doom. That was like the original NWO getting out of control. They had too many members.
No, there was Dungeon of Doom, and then there was the Alliance to End Hulkamania.
Yeah, that was where you brought in Z-Gangster, which was Zeus from the old WWF. I remember the last pay-per-view before I left Wildwood, there was a triple cage match between Savage and Hogan, like 15 guys.
Yeah, and it was like the
and they fucking beat them. We were so pissed off.
Who beat them?
Savage and Hogan beat all like the dudes.
Wasn't there like 15 of them?
Yeah, it was like Kevin Sullivan, Kamala, Earthquake, Zeus, that guy, the Ultimate something. His original name was the Ultimate Solution, but they had to change it.
The Final Solution, I thought it was.
Yeah, he was the Ultimate Solution. His original name was the Final Solution, but since that was the name when Hitler killed all the Jews, they had to change it because they almost got sued. Lex Luger was in it.
Luger was in the Alliance to End Hulkamania?
Yeah, Vader wound up getting in there somehow. It was all of them. And they just, and the thing was, you would have a regular cage with a roof on it. This is before Hell in the Cell. And then you put another cage on top of it. And then another cage on top of that.
How tall is this?
Probably over 30 feet, I would say. 20, maybe 40 feet high.
Come on, someone had to have done a spot diving off the top.
No, not those guys. They were all heavyweights. Now they would do that. Darby would do that. But when you're in that top cage, you're only standing on fencing. So they had one match, I think Great American Bash 88 or 89 called Tower of Doom match. Same thing. But it makes you be nervous when you're up there.
Tower of Doom.
Yeah, it just makes me
Dungeon of Doom.
But yeah, Speaking
of shitty WCW gimmicks, I wanted to ask you about this earlier. Do you, on a previous show, and I forgot, do you remember when Kevin Nash was Vinny Vegas?
Oh, sure. That was brought on by the Steve Martin movie, My Blue Heaven. He was a gangster. He was Vinny Vegas, and Scott Hall was the Diamond Stud. They were in DDP's Diamond Exchange. Do you remember? You don't know nothing about the band, the characters Kevin Nash was. Before that, he was
Oz.
and before that, he was Master Blaster Steel with a mohawk.
Master Blaster Steel? That sounds like a porn star.
He wishes. He would have probably made more money.
Speaking of porn, kind of adjacent to that, he was in Magic Mike.
Oh, I know. He barely does anything in the whole movie. He got hurt. I saw that movie, unfortunately. But anyway, yeah, Ole Anderson passed away at the age of 82.
And now we have a
real sad news.
Now, and you better make sure that
I will make sure of it. You don't have to say anything.
Okay. We have Virgil, a.k.a. Vincent, a.k.a. Shane, a.k.a. Curly Bill, real name Mike Jones, has passed away at the age of...
Well, actually, it's up for debate.
What?
They said 62 on the graphic on Raw. He was born. I actually came out. I heard he was born in 1951.
That would make him how old?
If I 73.
His age is
like magic.
No one knows how old
He looks exactly the same now.
I did go and watch on YouTube last night where he turns on the $1 Million Man.
Royal Rumble 91. Pick it up! And he just waffles them with it. And the crowd goes nuts. And they rode that. That was January. The payoff was in August.
What?
SummerSlam.
They did that for a whole year almost?
And then a month later, DiBiase won the belt back, and that was the end of it.
Right, no, because I remember asking you if he was hot, and would you say he was piss warm?
He's pissed warm. He was never like
Virgil.
But like I said, it's like Nails and the Boss Man. Nails was a prison guard, or Nails was a prisoner. Boss Man was a prison guard. That's all we got for you. You're the servant of the $1 Million Man. We spent years having him. He was with him from '80s. He was with him for 4 years of DiBiase shitting on him, make him clean up dog shit off his boots, just all this humiliating stuff. So that's what I'm talking about. You go for the slow build.
And he had like the candy striper pants.
That was later. He didn't always start with this. He had like boxers. He had like boxing shorts in the beginning.
He said, and also he did fight Tony Ludwig Borga. I remember he wrestled at one point.
He was actually Yokozuna's first opponent too at SummerSlam or Survivor
Virgil?
Series '92. Yeah. He got squashed, and I mean literally, when Yoko sat on him.
We've talked about him several times on this show. From selling autographed 8x10s of himself and merchandise at Vince McMahon's Hollywood Star on the Walk of Fame.
Which is probably going to be dug out of the ground at some point.
I don't know. Trump's still in there, and well, he's a terrorist. So, he was.
When we last reported on him, we said he was doing a GoFundMe, right?
I thought so.
Because I said to somebody, I was like, yeah, he died. I was like, he was doing a GoFundMe because he needed some surgeries. I was like, guess he didn't get him.
I brought him up. I brought him up recently also after that because he claims to have slept over 10,000 women.
Yeah. Okay.
Which
he ain't sleeping with nobody now. He's fertilizer.
He said that, well, probably not yet. I mean, he just died. They probably didn't have a funeral yet.
Yeah, it was the other day.
A
lot of people dying left and right, man. Like sports people. Like I was looking at Andy Russell from the Pittsburgh Steelers died the other day.
And then talking about how which you told me he claims he's responsible for black wrestlers getting.
Oh, that was the most ridiculous tweet ever. Rock sells out WrestleMania. You're welcome. Like you're out of your fucking mind, dude.
Well,
I'm trying not to speak ill of the dead here, but Jesus Christ.
Who was bigger at one point in terms of like black wrestlers of the 80s? Him or Junkyard Dog?
Oh my God. Are you serious?
I don't know.
Junkyard Dog, I mean, he was big like around kids my age in the 80s, but he was really big in fucking Mid-South. They pulled a gun on like Michael Hayes or fan did or a knife or something because Michael Hayes and Junkyard Dog sold out the Superdome one time or something. But yeah, he died. I don't know if he's 63 or 62 or 73. Depends on where you read it. Mike Jones, the Virgil, the $1 Million Man's valet, dead.
And he was also a member of the NWOB team.
Oh. Well, no. He wasn't really. I guess he was.
Along with Buff Bagwell.
And Scott Norton.
Scott Flash Norton.
Conan. I don't remember all the B team guys. But
Great Muda. Masahiro Chono.
Yes, Tenzan. And
all legends in Japan who were considered B team members here.
But in other news, in exciting news, Shawn Spears returns to NXT. But I figured you'd have to say about that.
Yep. No one who's.
Oh, no, I got to say this one. This one's for me.
Oh.
Because you remember my Sportskeeda bitching the other week because they're the ones that always, when I swipe left on the Samsung, I get these bullshit things. 75-year-old superstar to defeat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Get the fuck out of here.
What do you mean, 75-year-old superstar?
That's what they say. I'll show you. I'll send you one when I get one again. I'll send you a screen.
Who is the 75?
You click on it, it's nothing. That's what I mean. But I wrote, no wonder Sportskeeda sucks and I hate it because you guys probably heard me last week bitching about that. But they're the ones that support Russo's podcast. No wonder they suck balls.
What's it called? What's Russo's podcast called?
I forget. I got more news about him later, but it's gonna make me chuckle a little bit. But WWE apparently, Eric Bischoff has said this, and other people are saying it. They're urging to take Austin Theory off the TV. It's just not working with him anymore. So
what do you mean, just
take him off TV for a while?
What do you mean it's not working with him?
It's just not. If you watch him, they're not even getting a reaction anymore out of him. Like, he's not hated, he's not loved, he's just blah. He was out there on the Grayson Waller show at Elimination Chamber.
Well, him and Grayson Waller.
Well, Grayson got the hometown pop because I think he's actually from Perth.
Yes.
Yeah. But
or he's from Sydney or somewhere in Australia.
He's from real close, but like he's a heel, and they were but he wasn't doing heel shit. He was actually letting Cody and Seth beat up Theory or something. Matt Riddle said he failed drug tests for WWE after doing coke at a strip club. Said he was allowed to smoke pot. First few offenses.
Yes, because they don't test for pot.
The pot's becoming it's going to be like, by the time your children are around or my grandchildren, it'll be like smoking a cigarette, just not as bad. You'll be able to get them in the store, I imagine. But he said he was allowed to smoke pot. His first few offenses were kept hush-hush, and he was fine. He said he passed 10 in a row, that he did more coke and failed the test at home and was sent to rehab. I don't know if you can believe that guy.
Brian Alvarez, Meat Madness canceled for Championship Scramble. That was apparently due to someone's getting injured.
Yeah, but weren't all the same people that were in the Meat Madness in the Scramble?
All the people that were announced.
Oh.
It's believed Miro was supposed to be in it as well.
Well, there's some weird shit about him, too, going on, about how he said, where is it on there? I have it in the... Miro injured in September, but he didn't get medical attention until January. It doesn't say what the injury was, but he's saying, I'm sorry I didn't tell Tony Khan until then. Because he was out for a minute, remember?
Yeah, he was out for a while. Yeah. But, I mean, if he didn't tell Tony Khan, that's his own problem. Yeah. It's not Tony Khan's problem, that's Miro's problem.
I agree. But these guys are allowed to just go home if they don't like the creative angles they're going. He pays people to sit home all the time, Tony.
Well, because he basically has an infinite pool of money.
Yeah, but that's not smart. Like, I firmly believe all these bookers and promoters for AEW and WWE, the two major companies, they got too many fucking people. Way too many fucking people. Like, I'm telling you, New Japan's like, yeah, we'll take Jack Perry off your hands. Like, why?
He's wrestling either... What's today?
He's going to be at Sakura Genesis, isn't he?
He's going to be in the New Japan Cup.
Why?
That's the tournament for a world title shot.
Why is he getting all these world title shots?
Well, let me see if it already happened.
No, it didn't. I would have found out about that. But you can look. I don't.
Yeah, I showed you a picture of him yesterday. He looked like a homeless person.
He looked like that before he got that shit with Pug.
Okay, I cannot get onto their website right now.
What, New Japan?
Yeah. Brian Alvarez reports there is a lot of problems.
As far as Tony Khan and creative, yeah.
Okay, I don't know what his sources are, but...
he didn't really say, I listened to him, but he said what they're telling him, because people are speaking under anonymity, because I know you don't like that they don't name names, but these people are speaking anonymously. They're saying they don't find out if they're on the show sometimes until they get there. But that makes me think, why would you go to the show if you're not on it? Like, it's like dumbasses employing dumbasses, you know? It's like, why would you go?
All right, I'm going to let you read this next one, because I'm sure this was...
Vince Russo shares health update. Says he has the diabetes. Quick, someone hide his insulin.
God, you hate him so much.
He's part of the reason wrestling's in the bullshit that it is.
Alexander Hammerstone, formerly of MLW, signs with TNA.
He's going to face Josh Alexander at Sacrifice on 3/8. I do like Alexander Hammerstone, though.
WWE is considered adding Tama Tonga to the bloodline.
Yeah, Rock's been quoted as listing him as a cousin. He's one of Haku's sons, along with Hikuleo and Tongaloa. I don't know if I spelled those right.
You did not spell Hikuleo right. Hikuleo.
Well, I don't even know what that looks like. Hikuleo. That sounds like something you get. Like, I can't go to work today. I got like 3 different Hikuleos on my ass. I can't sit down.
Because Hikuleo and Tongaloa are still in New Japan. Just Tama Tonga left.
Yeah. Well, what are they? The Gorillas of Destiny now by themselves without him?
Well, Gorillas of Destiny is more than just them. They got
El originally it was just the tag team, wasn't it?
Yeah, then they added in more people. El Phantasmo, Jado, who's...
Oh, Jado and Guido.
Well,
They're still going around? Jesus Christ. I remember them in ECW in the mid-90s when they came over. All right. MLW had to turn people away from their 229 show at the Melrose Ballroom in New York, and they booked Riddle, Rocky Romero, who's that? Satoshi Kojima and Minoru Suzuki were on the card. So MLW, their lawsuit they had against WWE's been settled. They were suing them for something about blocking them being in areas. Yeah.
Blocking arenas.
Settled. Yeah. So maybe they'll be on the way up now, hopefully. Now, I'm doing this next one here because I watched this whole gimmick and I need to set the scene for you about...
Is this the one that went on for an hour?
It felt like longer. But don't worry, my summary will take an hour. But no, I watched this on YouTube. I'm talking about The Rock and the Bloodlines thing on the 3-1 SmackDown at the very beginning of the show. The Rock came out after the Bloodline. Now, I watched this on YouTube on Saturday morning. It went to 7 ad breaks before anybody said a fucking word.
Why? Well, how long was that? Was it
the whole thing? Get ready. 40 minutes was the whole thing.
Of what? Just talking?
Yeah, well, Roman came out with Jimmy Uso, Solo, the wise man, and he said, basically, Glendale acknowledged me. And he goes, you better get it right or we're just going to pack up and leave. So then he goes like, all right, that's it. We're leaving, and then the wise man comes over and says, my tribal chief, he's coming. The Rock, and then The Rock has to come out on his own. And then the crowd loves to cheer him when they hear his music. And then they
even when he's supposed to be a goddamn heel.
He wasn't supposed to be a heel in this, though. I think they thought he was going to be babyface against Roman.
But
that happens a lot in wrestling. When Vince screwed Brett in 97, he was going to come out on Raw the next night and say, the time-honored tradition when you're leaving the territory is to put the belt over. And he tried to do it. They booed him out of the building. So then it creates possibly the greatest heel character of all time, Mr. McMahon, who we now know wasn't acting. But, yeah, so they come out. He said, The Rock, when he finally gets out, says that Arizona has the distinction of being the place where more people do meth and crack than anywhere else in the country. Called them a bunch of cactus-loving crackheads, which he got in trouble for apparently later. But
The Rock said that?
Yeah. And he was there to answer.
So where were they, Phoenix or Glendale?
Glendale's like right outside of Phoenix. But he proposed because Cody called him out, says his schedule's wide open between now and WrestleMania. So he called him out, and The Rock says, you're not going to go one-on-one with the Great One. So he proposed the tag team match, which we were talking about like a month ago anyway. He's talking about night 1, Cody and Seth versus Roman and The Rock. Cody and Seth win. Bloodline barred from the arena on night 2.
Wait, so this match has been confirmed?
No, he didn't answer it yet, but you can see where it's going. But if The Rock and Roman win, it's Bloodline rules, which means no DQ. He did say something funny, though, when he was talking. He goes, look at the tribal chief. He's happy. Jimmy, he's happy. Solo, he's happy. You might not know it by looking at him, but this is his happy face. And then everybody started chanting for Solo.
Solo, don't look at his ass, Sokoa.
It's large. But so he proposed the tag team match. The Rock is also really playing up this board position, talking about how he's higher up than Triple H and all that stuff. But this all started to be the distraction of the Vince thing. And now it's taking on a life of its own. He says no one can stop him from making Cody's life miserable, not even Triple H. But it does seem like there's going to be a power struggle for the leadership of the Bloodline. Roman interrupted The Rock while he was talking and said, "I need you to acknowledge me." And The Rock did. But the crowd chanted to The Rock that he sold out. 40 fucking minutes is too long, I wrote. 40 fucking minutes is too long.
How did that take 40 minutes to do? You just told me what he said.
Well, the entrances take forever. The guy's got to stand around. They got to look. They got to scratch their ass. You know, you got to do everything. It's like
my tribal chief. He's coming.
Heyman's doing really good, though.
He's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame.
I got that right at the end of the day today. I put that on the format. It's at the very end. I had just added that today. He's deserving, though. He's a booker, a wrestler, or he had the greatest tuxedo match you ever saw against Jim Cornette, Great American Bash 89.
Wait, really?
Yeah. It's not a comedy match either. It's like a real fight. Like, it's really, really good.
All right. Now, let's do Revolution.
Wait, we got anything else?
Sex.
All right, we'll do Revolution, and I'll knock off the rest of the end. You can do Revolution. I will comment when we get to the matches that I started. So you can say whatever you want about the first half of it.
All right, so we I didn't really pay attention to the pre-show.
We're recording this the day after Revolution, even though it's a week later now. But.
Yes. Christian Cage with Killswitch, Mother Wayne, and the Prodigy Nick Wayne defeated Daniel Garcia by pinfall, 16 minutes and 50 seconds for the TNT Championship.
I should hope so.
It was all right.
Fucking Garcia.
It was a serviceable match. I mean,
all right. Well, it's a pre-show, right?
No.
This is on the actual show.
This was the first match on.
Did you watch any of the pre-show?
I had the second match on in like the background.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it because we were still at dinner until like 7:30. So I didn't.
So we didn't see the Bang Bang Scissor Gang versus Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh, Jay Lethal, Willie Mack, and Private Party.
That is a shame. Let me tell you.
Accompanied by Sanjay Dutt and Karen Jarrett.
Oh.
Okay.
Karen Jarrett really does make it look like TNA, though.
Second match on the main card. Eddie Kingston defeated Bryan Danielson by pinfall in 19 minutes and 45 seconds. This was a great match.
19 minutes, that's pretty good.
You know, a lot of hard.
What did he beat him with, though? He beat him with the back fist?
God, did he beat him with the back fist?
I would have loved to see Eddie beat him with like a wrestler, like a small package or something, because you wouldn't expect it.
I don't know if he beat him with that or the Exploder.
Or the Exploder Suplex. Yeah.
From Jun Akiyama.
Yes, I love that move.
Fifth match. All-Star Scram. Well, fifth match is on Wikipedia here because it's including the pre-show.
Okay.
Wardlow with Adam Cole, Mike Bennett, and Matt Taven defeated Chris Jericho, Powerhouse Hobbs, Lance Archer, accompanied by Jake the Snake Roberts.
Oh, Jake was out there? I didn't even see him.
Yeah, he didn't move the entire time. I thought he what the, you know,
just like Darby at the end of that last match. He was laying there for quite a while.
Hook, Brian Cage with Prince Nana, Magnus from CMLL.
Yeah, they kept saying Magnus. I'm looking for Nick Aldis.
So did I! I thought that was
Magnus,
weird.
how's he using that name there? Isn't he at SmackDown? And I'm like, where is he?
I know, that's what I thought when I first saw it too.
That's the only guy I ever heard called Magnus.
And Dante Martin by pinfall.
Dante Martin. Why'd they? Was he a throwaway? Was he a throw-in?
And so now this was for a future World Championship shot. A lot of people were saying this was the worst match of the night.
It was the worst match I saw of them all. I turned it on.
I didn't even know what the rules were at first.
I was laying right here and I had the phone up and I was playing baseball down here on the Xbox. And I'm looking over every couple minutes. I'm like, Jesus Christ, when is this going to end?
Like, they didn't even explain the rules at first.
Like I said, I turned it off when it already
like I didn't know. Like, was it over
the
top rope? Was it elimination? Was it first?
I figured it was pinfall, but I did not know if it was elimination or just one fall. It was just one.
They
fall.
didn't tell you anything.
Oh, well, they're famous for that.
Well, now Wardlow gets a future world title shot.
Big deal. Why are they so high on him? He looks like shit. I'm sorry.
He's a good heater.
Yeah, he's a heater. He's like a policeman. He was MJF's policeman.
And now he's doing the same thing in the Undisputed Kingdom.
Yeah, so why is he going to... He's not going to win the title. If they put him over and give him the title, he's a fucking moron, Tony.
No, obviously he's not going to win, but... Roderick Strong defeated Orange Cassidy by
very good match. And I could tell in the beginning with all the Kinesio tape and how he was selling that the injury was going to be what was able to...
I don't really remember this that much.
Oh, it was great. He hit him with a fucking Strong hit him with a spinning backbreaker onto the top turnbuckle. Like
Roderick Strong is a great wrestler.
He does crazy. He invents half of these moves mid-match.
And then he won the title. And then at the very end, did you see who showed up?
Yeah, Kyle O'Reilly.
Looked like he was homeless.
Yeah, and then they gave him the shirt, and he basically said something to him, handed him the shirt back, walked up the aisle, looked like he was tearing up. So I think they're heading for like a retirement angle for him because he's been out forever. He's been injured, right?
Yeah.
And his partner, Bobby Fish, is over at MLW, isn't he?
I don't know.
He went through TNA. I think he wound up at MLW.
Blackpool Combat Club, John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli defeated FTR by technical submission, 21 minutes and 50 seconds.
As much as
the
I
Roderick Strong Orange Cassidy match was 12 minutes, 45.
That's it?
Yeah.
It seemed like it was longer. As much as I don't like John Moxley, and you know that, this match was really good. Claudio at one point was like hot tagging himself so he was just starting like fucking people up.
Dax had some good juice.
Yes, he did.
I don't know. He got busted open.
I don't remember where he got busted open.
It was like on his forehead.
No, like what spot he got busted open on. I can't remember.
And then we had that. I thought that was really good. Timeless Tony Storm with Mariah May and Luther defeated Deonna Purrazzo.
That was good.
By pinfall.
I saw
12 minutes,
those
45
girls
seconds.
are chunky from the waist down. That's all I got to say. Deonna Purrazzo, Italian girl from Jersey. Woo!
I didn't see this match. I was getting a
Hackettstown
snack.
she's from. Yeah, there's just some.
I don't even know where Hackettstown is.
It's not around here. It's up north more. But she totally looks like a girl from North Jersey.
Yeah.
Under a overpass doing something to her. Oh, by the way, I'm not only am I going to get you that Phil Brooks' tear mugs, but you and your mouth last week, I'm getting T-shirts made that say that's an insult to cross-dressers and suck my tiny Irish cock. Did your mother hear that when you said that?
No.
Oh God, I want to hear what she said when she saw that.
Wait, who did I say that in reference to?
It was probably about Punk or something. I don't know. I have to go back and
Who
listen.
did I say was it insult? Oh yeah, Seth
Rollins with because we were talking about Becky. So
because Seth with the puffy shirts and the mummer suit
and the 3-eye sunglasses. Don't get me started on that.
Wait, the 3-eye sunglasses. Where's the
like
third eye?
1, 2, and 1 in the middle, like up top. It was weird. He was wearing them at Elimination Chamber. Go back to Revolution.
Now this was the match of the night, arguably.
No, there's no argument.
Well, I was going to say this or the main event, but
the main event you knew was going to be good. You knew it was going to be good.
This was 22 minutes. Will Ospreay defeated Konosuke Takeshita by pinfall. They were hitting each other with all kinds of shit.
Well, those guys are Japanese wrestlers. They're used to being. Like
Will Ospreay's not Japanese.
Well, he's Japanese style.
Well, he was actually trained in Lucha Libre.
But they're used to being like a 3/4 shoot over there and laying them in on people. I mean,
they were just hitting each other with all kinds of hard-hitting moves. Will Ospreay got dropped from like the top turnbuckle with a brain buster. They were flying all over the place, hitting each other.
Takeshita's got a good future in front of him too, I think, for being as big as he is.
He's also got Don Callis as his manager.
Oh, and Don Callis on commentary made the whole fucking match. I mean, Don's great. You can feel the heat coming out of you can feel the heat he's getting coming out of my phone when I was watching it.
As soon as he got in the arena, everyone stopped cheering and started booing. But
him and Dominic Mysterio are the two most nuclear heels I've seen in years.
But also, Will Ospreay knows how to control a crowd too.
They were cheering his ass off when he came out,
and then he was like pointing to different parts of the crowd and having them cheer. And
yeah, he's very good.
Ospreay.
I would have loved. I'm happy to see him there because I think if he would have went to WWE, I don't think they would have.
Said to him, because in WWE they wanted to put him in NXT Europe.
But you're going to get lost in the shuffle there. Like even CM Punk when he came back that night at Survivor Series. After that, you're like, he's in the rest of the pack. You don't stand out. He stood out more in AEW Punk. That's why I said I like the Punk AEW better.
Well, also he only actually wrestled like one televised match in WWE.
He did the Rumble. He did a couple house shows. He did
that was it.
Dominic, yeah.
And now he's hurt.
Yep. And he's going to get hurt again when he comes back. Because he'll be 46 by the time he comes back.
It's always the same old story.
CM Punk getting hurt. Anyway, go back to Revolution.
That Will Ospreay and
That was the best match of the night.
now
All three matches at the end, the World Heavyweight title and the Sting's retirement.
Samoa Joe defeated Heyman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana by submission. 19 minutes and 40 seconds.
I do not agree with this at all. If not, give it to Swerve now. When? I doubt Tony has some grand plan.
Well, I think that match really put him over as a face.
Oh, it did, because they're trying to turn. It's like they tried it, but it was already Swerve was getting cheered and Page was getting booed. Everybody likes Swerve more than Page. It's the natural progression to make Page go heel because they're already booing him.
Well, because there was the thing with Nana gave him the crown to use to cheat and Swerve.
He said no. That's when I figured it out. Between that and Page doing all the heel tactics, that's what I figured they were trying to switch. So I think this was to generate even more sympathy and push Swerve Strickland even more. And maybe push him out of Mogul Embassy, I would say.
Maybe push him on.
Because what do I always say? Nana is pissed on by, like, they boo the shit out of whoever else he comes out with. They only cheer him when they come out with Swerve.
He does the dance
or not, they don't give a shit. Swerve's what they want to say.
They had the dancers with
Swerve's what I want to say. Oh, I know. I saw that. I was like, Jesus Christ.
What? You didn't like the dancers?
No, it was a nice touch. So
Prince Nana does his dance, and
that's all he's famous for anymore. But
I didn't know he was in Ring of Honor. Like,
it was. That's where I got the penis joke from.
And then the last match, Sting and Darby Allin with Ric Flair, Garrett Borden, and Steve Borden Jr. defeated the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson by submission, 21 minutes and 3 seconds.
Let's talk about it a little bit here. The whole vignette in the beginning.
I thought that was really good.
Last time for Showtime. And then you think when he comes out, now the Bucks come out with ring robes, so they did a lot of stuff. There was a lot of old school throwbacks to last night because they were in Greensboro. And they were doing a lot of, like we talked about BCC wearing the Legion of Doom Road Warrior things. And them coming out in old robes, the EVPs. And Sting, you think he's coming.
EVP Trigger!
Christ. And then you see Sting come out, as you think it's Sting, and it's Surfer Sting. Complete the red, white, and blue outfit from Great American Bash 90 when he beat Flair for the title. And you're like, what? Why is he dressed like that?
And then you see Wolfpack.
And I'm like, oh, God. Anytime I would have seen Wolfpack Sting, it would have been too soon. And then...
who was the fake Sting that they had?
What the fuck was his name? Something Farmer. I think it was Steve Farmer. Well... yeah, the fake Sting came in when it was the end of '96 after the NWO. The NWO was taking this fake Sting out and parading them around. And then they thought that it was the real Sting. They're like, I didn't like him. And then Sting came out at War Games and attacked Luger and all that. Or like beat up the NWO but told Luger, see, you didn't believe me. Or Savage and all that because you didn't believe me. I'm done. And he disappeared for 15 months. That's when he became the Crow and that's when they did all the build to Hogan. 15 months. He didn't say a fucking word. Not a word.
It was just in the rafters.
Yeah.
But
like somebody in a group chat that doesn't say anything. Just yeah. But yeah, when you saw the Wolfpack and the Surfer Sting wound up being his sons, like we're talking about, who actually got involved in the match, did a couple Stinger splashes and stuff.
And then they moved out some tables and...
yeah. The Darby Allin spot on the glass table. I mean... he wasn't moving for a while. I didn't even know they took him back and bandaged. They put him back together and sent him back out.
And he was bleeding.
But the blood was like just coming out because even if it was safety glass, it's still gonna cut you. But
plexiglass.
Yeah, it's still gonna cut you, and you're still flat backing it onto the mat after you went off a 30-foot ladder that was up about, you're like 35 with his height. He's about 40 feet in the air.
Now I also wanted to. Now this was just a really good match. Sting can do a lot for a 63-year-old.
How many times have I said since he came to AEW, he reminded me like Terry Funk in ECW. He's just done very good work, crazy shit that he wouldn't have done 25 years ago.
He would do dive. He did like New Jack. He would do New Jack dives.
I saw that when he dove off the balcony at that one show.
Well, there was the stuff where he would no-sell like The Undertaker.
Yeah, that shit where he was no-selling and beating his chest. I was like, you know what? Some people might think that's corny, but it's the last time you're going to see the guy.
And then he beat him with the Scorpion Deathlock.
I think it's odd, but he did say during the press conference at the end that they're vacating the tag titles. And there's going to be a tournament. I just think it's odd that the guy's going out and you let him keep the belt, even though they're going to vacate it.
Whatever.
But they didn't say anything about Darby being in it, but he's going off to climb Mount Everest now or something, anyway, I heard. So, I don't know if that's real, though. Is that real that he does that
he was
shit?
training for
That's
that.
what I thought. Because he's crazy like that. I remember watching him at MLW do a coffin drop off of the balcony while he's tied to a fucking chair. In the chair. You could see that. You could look this up, trust me. He lands on like 3, but he is fucking up there. And I'm like, this guy only weighs like 150 pounds.
This was, there was also a lot of legends involved. In the match itself, you had Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And Ric Flair,
Woo!
I thought was supposed to be on
commentary. I gotta do it. Wings!
That would be the last time you do that.
Why? Why did he die finally?
No, but he wasn't.
Did you see when they super kicked him? They couldn't have super kicked him enough for me.
His face looked like it was purple.
Did you see the other week when he had to get physical with them on Dynamite?
Yes, I saw it. I can't believe we didn't talk about that.
And he punched, and he looked like that old guy in The Wedding Singer who was like, I used to be stronger. Like, he's just
it wasn't the finger poke of doom.
He never looked that good punching anyway.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I say. That's why you see a lot of guys with stiff shots, because they don't look like, even though it's John Cena, he looks like his punches couldn't break like a Jell-O mold. Like, Johnny, you got those big hands. Just waffle the guy so nobody knows you don't know how to throw a punch.
Would you say John Cena's got meat hooks?
Oh my God, they're huge. But I'm just like, just waffle the guy so nobody knows you don't know how to throw a punch ever.
No, but Mother Wayne and I were making jokes watching it that it looked like he was supposed to be on commentary because he was sitting at the desk. They just gave him a headset, like, here, Rick, here's your headset. It's a special one. Just talk into this. Like, imagine he's just like,
he's like, I'm here to plug my wings.
He's giving commentary on the whole match, and they just didn't plug it in.
Oh, it's like your kids when you give them a remote.
That's what we were talking about. Here, Rick, this is a special headset. It says Fisher Price on it.
It's all right. Just go with it.
And I was also have this list here of other legends that were either in the audience.
Yeah, let's go over that because you told me about that and I didn't know anything
that
about
were either in the audience or behind backstage.
I had to go to bed after that match because I had to go to work.
I did not see the stuff he said afterwards.
No, he said a lot of stuff when they went off the air. I saw that. Sting did.
Well, because I am trying to. Here we go.
Go ahead, hit it.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was there, and Ric Flair.
He was the timekeeper, yeah.
Along with Nikita Koloff.
Ooh, where was he? Was he backstage? It doesn't tell you where they were.
DDP, Lex Luger, and Magnum TA.
It's funny. I never thought Magnum TA, after getting paralyzed in a car accident in Overcoming, I never thought he would be in better shape than Lex Luger. He's older than him.
There was also some guy I remember I'm saying another name of a guy that was in the front row whose name I thought I recognized. And I sent you the guy, what was his name? Dave Crockett?
Yeah, and I wrote King of the Wild Frontier.
I don't know who that is.
Davey Crockett. It was a joke.
I didn't know who Dave Crockett was in wrestling.
Crockett. It's Jim Crockett Jr.'s brother.
Oh.
He was the guy that sabotaged the Shockmaster. Dusty Rhodes tells the story about we were going to have him.
So what, is Jim Crockett dead, so they had to get
Jim Crockett Jr. died a while ago. David Crockett and Tony Schiavone did the commentary for Flair's last match the other year because they were the Saturday morning NWA Worldwide guys for years when I was a kid. But he's the one
Flair's last match.
Oh God, did you see it?
I saw parts of it where he has his heart attack basically in the middle.
Sleeping. Andrade thought he had a heart attack. But the whole thing with David Crockett, Dusty Rhodes tells the story on one of those Legends of Wrestling things. Because when Fred Ottman, tugboat, supposed to go through the wall, he goes, David Crockett took a 2x4
and put it
nailed it to the wall and sabotaged my ass.
Why?
Because they were ribbing him.
Shockmaster.
Oh, come on. It was a shit gimmick, but they had to listen to it because Dusty was the booker.
The Stormtrooper helmet.
He goes, and when he falls through the wall, it's a sparkly Stormtrooper helmet. It's a bedazzled Stormtrooper helmet. But when he falls through, you can hear Ole doing the voice, but his voice starts to crack. He goes, I am the Shockmaster. Like, he starts cracking. And Dusty always says, I laughed so hard they had to take me to my room. They almost took me to the hospital. He goes, and Fred walks back, takes off the helmet, throws it down, and says, I fucked this up real good, didn't I? And 2 weeks later, he goes, now he was in Dusty's family. He was like an uncle by marriage or something to the kids. He goes, 2 weeks later, we're watching it at home after we taped it, and little Cody's sitting there when the helmet goes off, and he goes, I think that was Uncle Fred.
Who was the guy that was the referee during Sting and the Black Scorpions match?
Dick the Bruiser.
Dick the Bruiser.
Legendary tough guy, but not a good ref. Well, that guy, I told you that Gene, when I was talking about that Kelly Kaniski with that ring boy shit, that Gene Kaniski, his father, was the referee for the first main event of Starrcade, and he was fucking awful. Dick the Bruiser was fucking awful, too.
Really?
So, oh, God, that was lousy. Like, they were trying to do, like, real matches. Like, he's putting his hand under the guy's shoulders and the 1001, 1002, like normal. Like, he's doing, like, fucking amateur Greco-Roman wrestling here.
Now, one thing I'm reading here is a lot of people are saying that this was the best. Like, some people are saying this was the best retirement match ever.
I would say, because you knew he was going out. It wasn't like loser retires match. You knew he was retired. The best one of those is what I was telling you about, Savage and the Warrior.
Warrior. What'd you say? Warrior hit him with like shoulders?
Savage hit him. This WrestleMania 7. It's the only match of the year the Ultimate Warrior was ever. It was PWI match of the year. And it's all because of Savage. Because you know the whole story about him and pre-doing his matches back when nobody did it. He hit Warrior. Now, I was watching this at my friend's house in 6th grade. He hit Warrior with 7 elbow drops. And he got up at 2. And then he hit Savage with like 5 spears or three or 5 flying shoulder blocks. So hard that he threw him out of the ring. Then he rolled him back in and just put his foot on him. When they got it's like 1, 2, and you hear Bobby Heenan go, no, not like this. And it's 3. And that's it. And then Sensational Sherry winds up beating up Savage because it was her meal ticket. And Elizabeth appears out of the crowd and saves him. And that's when they have the match made in heaven and they get married.
When they had already been married for
but you weren't supposed to know that. You weren't supposed to know that back then. But by the time they got married, they were already getting divorced, I think. Seriously, that whole feud with Flair and Savage in early 92, they were splitting up already. So,
what was the match made in hell?
That was... Holy cow, it was a handicap match. It was Sergeant Slaughter, Colonel Mustafa, who was the Iron Sheik, and General Adnan, Sheik Adnan El Casey. Also, he was known as Billy White Wolf back in the 70s.
I don't know.
Actually went to school with Saddam Hussein, and he looked like him. It was the 3 of them versus Hogan and the Warrior with Sid Justice as the referee. That's the one where the Warrior held up Vince for more money before he went out. And then when the Warrior got to Gorilla, when he came back, he said, "You're fired. Get out of here." He didn't give him the money.
And then he showed up in WCW.
No. He came years later.
Years later, where he's in the mirror and Hogan thinks he's going crazy.
The OWN, the One Warrior Nation, that was so fucking stupid. That gimmick was killed 10 minutes into it. Talk about shit going too long. Him showing up on Nitro, that was a 25-minute That was a 25-minute part where Bischoff's looking at him like, what the fuck is he saying?
What was the thing then?
Look that up if you get a chance.
Where Hogan got like the paper mache face of himself.
That whole program is like riddled with dog shit. The rematch, Halloween Havoc, right? Which not only it's Hogan and Warrior, the rematch 8 years in the making after WrestleMania 6. The real main event, which you find out later, was Goldberg and DDP for the world title.
That sounds like it would be good.
Yeah, but the pay-per-view cut off. You didn't see the end of the match. They didn't get extra. They didn't make a deal. They just cut it off. This is the beginning of the end for WCW here. But that was when Hogan was going to try to use, like, you see the old days, like with the Sheik or Jerry Lawler with the fireball, where they do the flash paper and the fireball.
Yeah, Jericho did that for a little bit.
But he goes to do it. Oh, yeah, he's a wizard, right? Yeah. But he has like a smoke bomb, and he like tries to throw it, and he throws it at the Warrior's feet, and it just goes out like, and the Warrior just stares at it. It was like the electrocution match in AEW when it didn't go off, remember?
Not AEW, WCW, you mean?
No.
The Exploding Barbed Wire Death Match.
Exploding Barbed Wire, that's it. But remember when it didn't go off?
I wasn't watching that.
Oh, dude, if you watch it with Cornette's commentary to it, because he pisses all over it. But it's really funny. But that's what it was like. That whole Warrior Hogan program in 98.
Exploding Barbed Wire Death Matches are actually in Fight Forever.
Yeah, but I can't get out of that. Don't even talk about that game. I'm very disappointed.
The only other wrestling game I've seen with exploding barbed wire death matches is not actually Wrestling Empire. You would think it would be in Wrestling Empire.
Wrestling Empire has everything but that.
No, Fire Pro Wrestling has them. Exploding barbed wire death matches.
I never figured out how to get out to the floor, though, because on AEW Fight Forever, they got, like, barbed wire on the floor on top of, like, pieces of wood and shit. But I can't get out.
The ring explodes.
So that's it for Revolution, right? All right, a couple more things here.
All right.
Tony Khan checked with Martha Hart before having Sting come down from the rafters. I understand that because they don't want to piss her off because they have an agreement with her about coming to Calgary and doing that useless Owen Hart tournament. Fox tried to censor Die Rocky Die signs and chants on the 3-1 SmackDown. Why? Why'd you let the fucking guy in with the sign to begin with? Remember what they did to us with signs? I put that Maxwell Jerkoff Friedman sign in. Remember that?
No.
They were like questioning. When I drew the tombstone and put MJF on it, they were like quizzing me about that when we walked in. I was like, dude, he's a heel. You're supposed to want to kill him. But yeah, like they're censoring all the heat The Rock's getting, and like I don't think he should be doing that.
Well, I'm sure he wants it censored because he's got such a fragile ego.
No, but he legitimately likes being a bad guy. He always has. All right, the last couple of news pieces here. TKO president Mark Shapiro addresses Vince McMahon and the TKO stock. Basically what he says, Vince still has 20 million shares of TKO. I'm trying to find out here. He has not told them what he's going to do with it. He hasn't cashed anything out. And Ari Emanuel replaced him as the executive chairman of TKO. So
I thought Ari Emanuel was the owner.
Yeah, but he's the executive chairman of the TKO. TKO was the group made up to take over the WWE.
And UFC.
Yeah, because originally Endeavor Entertainment's the real one. And Vince Russo, did we talk about this last week? I can't remember.
Well, where Vince Russo says it's all set up?
No, thinks Stallone's not going to be at WrestleMania because of the McMahon thing. Did we talk about that last week?
No.
Yeah, he thinks he's not, because there's been talk about trying to get Stallone because of Rocky and it being in Philly. But they're saying because of the McMahon scandal, they don't think he'll come. But he really doesn't. I think that's weak because the guy doesn't really have anything to do with it anymore now. But I don't know. When I read these things about him having shares, I don't ever count this guy out, man.
Dude's going to try to buy, like, hostile takeover, buy his way back in?
Now, because the shares are different. When they went public in 99, he made sure his shares, Steph's shares, Linda's shares, Shane's shares, the family shares were worth more than anybody else's. Like vote-wise, which is how he got back in. Now, it's not his company anymore. So I don't know how you would do that. But I guess we'll see. I can't wait for the next fucking thing to come out about him. Because, like, you're right about not reporting on it every week. Because even Rene Dupree was saying that there when I was listening to him. He's, there's nothing going on with it right now. So might as well wait. But the next, I don't know if the lawsuit's been answered or what. It was supposed to have been answered, but there's no new news. So, but what do we got coming up next week? For there's no more pay-per-views next week, right?
AEW announced they're doing a new pay-per-view, though, April 21st.
Dynasty. What was that? They're like, listen, we're going to figure out the gayest name for something. Throw all these gay names in a hat. Dynasty! It's an old TV show from the 80s.
Hello, Frisco.
But where are we at here? We are at 58 minutes. You
All
got
right.
anything else? Sign off! Good night, everybody.
Get your hand off my penis!